Hey guys, it's Adrian. Welcome to another spoiler-free speed review. Let's just start by saying this one is going to be really tough to do in under 3 minutes because this book was so fantastically bizarre. Today's spoiler-free speed review is for Eleanor by Jason Gurley. Eleanor follows a woman named Agnes. Agnes's mother, Eleanor, has previously passed away with the assumption that she's committed suicide. We start off by following Agnes several years later, where she now has two twin daughters of her own, Esmeralda and Eleanor. At the very beginning of the book, unfortunately, Agnes is in a car crash that is fatal to her daughter Esmeralda. And then we jump forward another several years and we are following her daughter Eleanor, and Eleanor is having a really difficult time dealing with her grief and her mother's grief. Her mother has turned into an alcoholic and Eleanor is having a really hard life. When I got into the book, that is all that I knew about the book, and I thought it was going to be a hard-hitting contemporary novel. That is not what this book was. I debated on not telling you any more about the book, but I just have to because it's just what makes this book so fantastic. So basically what happens is this. One day Eleanor disappears. I'm not telling you where she goes because that will give away too much information. She comes back several hours later and this keeps happening to her. She keeps disappearing and then showing up days, weeks, months later, and we don't really know what's going on. I'm not going to tell you any more than that, but this book is sort of made me reminiscent of Every Heart a Doorway. Different, but sort of the same. And also Dark Matter. Because you really don't know what the heck is going on, and that is what made this book so good. Let's start off by talking about the plot. The plot is what really gets you because you do a lot of jumping back and forth a little bit, not confusingly, but you do jump back and forth a bit. But the biggest thing about this plot is it constantly keeps you guessing. Every time I thought I knew the answer, I was completely wrong and I'm flabbergasted and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. I love books that keep me on the edge of my seat. I read this book in 2 days and it's a 500-page book. The writing style, I think, is why I loved this book so much. It is a very imaginative, very unique sort of concept that I have not ever read anything like. When you sort of get to the end of the book and you start putting all the puzzle pieces together and you start knowing what's happening, it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. Lastly, we have the characters. The characters, in my opinion, were done so well. You really felt all the emotion and all the grief and everything that's going on from all of the characters. From Eleanor's dad to her mom to Eleanor herself, her best friend Jack. It's just done just beautifully. Obviously, as you can tell by my rave, I gave this book a 5 stars. It is my favorite book of the entire year by far. And guys, the best thing is I got this book for $1 from the dollar store. What? That wraps up the spoiler-free speed review. I could say so much more about this book, but I can't. I'm literally trying to rein myself in. If you have read this book and you want to talk about it, get in contact with me on Twitter or Instagram because I loved it and I want to talk about it and it was so good. If you enjoy spoiler-free speed reviews, give this video a big thumbs up. Check the description box below for more spoiler-free speed reviews. If you have not yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.